Rumpelstiltskin by Brothers Grimm. Once upon a time there was a poor miller who had a beautiful daughter. One day the miller, in an attempt to impress the king, boasted that his daughter could spin straw into gold. The king, intrigued by the idea of such a talent, ordered the miller's daughter to be brought to the castle. When the girl arrived, the king led her to a chamber filled with straw, gave her a spinning wheel and spindle, and said, "If you value your life, spin this straw into gold by morning." Then he locked the door and left her alone. The poor miller's daughter sat down and began to cry, for she had no idea how to spin straw into gold. Just then, the door creaked open, and in walked a strange little man. "Good evening, mistress," he said. "Why are you crying?" "Oh," she replied, "I have to spin this straw into gold, and I do not know how." The little man smiled. "What will you give me if I spin it for you?" The girl thought for a moment, and then offered him her necklace. The little man agreed, took the necklace, and sat down at the spinning wheel. Round and round he spun, and by morning all the straw had been turned into gold. When the king saw the gold he was amazed and delighted, but his greed only grew. He took the miller's daughter to a larger room filled with even more straw, and ordered her to spin it into gold by morning if she valued her life. Once again, the girl sat down and began to cry. The little man appeared once more and asked, "What will you give me if I spin this straw into gold for you?" The girl offered him the ring on her finger, and the little man agreed. He spun all the straw into gold before dawn, and the room was filled with golden spools. The king was overjoyed but still not satisfied. He took the girl to an even larger room filled with straw and said, "If you can spin this into gold by morning, you shall become my queen." Then he left her alone once more. The girl began to cry, for she knew she had nothing left to offer the little man. But when he appeared again, he asked, "What will you give me if I spin this straw into gold for you?" "I have nothing left to give," she said. The little man thought for a moment and then said, "Promise me your firstborn child when you become queen, and I will spin the straw into gold." Desperate and fearful for her life, the girl agreed to the promise. The little man set to work, and by morning, the room was filled with gold. True to his word, the king married the miller's daughter, and she became queen. A year later, the queen gave birth to a beautiful child, and had forgotten all about her promise to the little man. But one day he appeared in her chamber and demanded, "Now give me what you promised." The queen was horrified and offered him all the riches in the kingdom instead, but the little man refused. "Something living is dearer to me than all the treasures in the world," he said. The queen wept and pleaded with him, so the little man took pity on her. "I will give you 3 days," he said. "If you can guess my name, you may keep your child." The queen stayed up all night, thinking of all the names she had ever heard. The next day, she sent a messenger out into the kingdom to gather even more names. When the little man came to her on the first day, she guessed, "Is your name Conrad?" "No," said the little man. "Is it Harry?" "No," said the little man. The queen continued to guess many names, but each time, the little man replied, "That is not my name." The next day, the queen sent her messenger out again to find new names. When the little man returned, she tried, "Is your name Balthazar?" But again, he shook his head. The queen guessed all the names she had gathered, but to no avail. On the third day, the messenger returned with an interesting story. "I have not found a single new name," he said, "but as I passed through the woods I came across a little house. In front of the house, a fire was burning, and around the fire danced a strange little man. He was singing, 'Today I bake, tomorrow brew. The next I'll have the young queen's child. Ha! Glad am I that no one knew that Rumpelstiltskin I am styled.'" The queen was overjoyed to hear this. When the little man came that evening and asked, "Now, my lady, what is my name?" She first guessed, "Is your name Tom?" "No," said the little man. "Is it Dick?" "No," said the little man. Then the queen smiled and said, "Is your name Rumpelstiltskin?" At this, the little man flew into a rage. "The devil told you that? The devil told you that," he shrieked. In his anger, he stamped his foot so hard that it went through the floor, and he disappeared in a puff of smoke, never to be seen again. The queen kept her child, and they lived happily ever after. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more magical tales. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an adventure. Have a great day, and see you in the next story.